Thank God it's Friday. Super excited to come your way with yet another exciting edition of Good Morning Africa. Here we say it as it is. We speak truth to power. We try to bring all the issues that are of importance to the fore for our conversation. And, you know, we it's very interactive. So we try to also bring in the viewers at some point. So please, if you're at home, don't feel like you're not a part of the show. You're very, very, very important to this particular program. And so your views, your comments, sometimes it's very practically impossible to read your views and your comments. But, you know, send them in anyway. We really greatly appreciate all of them. We will try and read some of them today. I will try and read some of them today on the show, okay? So please just keep them coming through. 0260846539 is the WhatsApp number. And we're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. Just leave your comments underneath the live stream, and then we'll be able to read them out to you. But most importantly, if you can, please share the Facebook feed as well, so others can get the opportunity to watch and listen to our wonderful panelists deliver their submission today on the show. I am excited to have in the studios with me Sabo Adams. Good morning to you, Sabo.
Good morning.
He is the former regional secretary of the Greater Accra Regional Secretary of the MPP, and he's here seated. We're excited to have him here, you know, I'm convincing him. I'm convincing him that he needs to take a bigger position. So I'm still convincing. When it materializes, I'll let you people know. But Sabo is a great asset that you know, can be utilized the more. You know, in my hometown, in Dagbon, my hometown. So you know, we are still convincing him. We'll see how it goes. And the indefatigable, the lion, the cub to the lion of Dagbon is also here.
The lion of Dagbon is the Yana.
No, listen to what I said.
I beg you.
No, I said the cub. Corrected it. He said the cub.
A cub.
I don't want to be slaughtered.
The overlord.
I don't want to be hard before the
captain of the room about
I know.
The lion.
Lion one.
Reserved for only one.
Thank you.
That's my overlord.
You know the way me now I treated before I be hard before the king.
Sabo's, you see, like I said, especially the MPP, he can say it, but that's the truth. Kwame, that discrimination is very clear, and they have confined Nordness to playing second fiddle. Look at the role he played in the run-up to their reorganization in the Greater Accra region.
Yeah, I saw that.
After all the dirty work has been done, they are showing him where to go. It will sound like he won't admit it, but that's the truth. This won't happen in the NDC.
Are you trying to say that he should come to the
Oh, my brother, that's his home. I've been telling him that the day the Billy Ghost's leg is broken, he will find his way back. That is not his home. Oh, you do all the hard work. Yeah. And some people will sit on the sidelines when it is time to eat, and the bread is there. They pick it. Oh, Masa, you know what is happening.
No, I don't know which people.
You don't know those who are chopping yafu with their left, right, and
who are those
both hands.
Who are those people?
Oh, my brother.
Oh, no, but I don't know.
Well, you as we go along, you hear their names. Even when my brother don't go put the something on his Facebook and President Mama just echo did. Look at what they are trying to go and discuss.
Which people? Who is that to do it? I don't. I mean, I'm lost. I'm
at sea. Forming kebabs and Sakawa groups.
Oh, there are Sakawa groups in Ghana politics.
I don't mind.
So these are the topics that we've taken for our conversation. Coup makers launch new round of transition talks with Mali actors. Ghanaian Times brought us that particular story. Mahama, he accuses Akufo-Addo of stolen legacies and recognition phobia. The Insight newspaper reported this particular story. Battle of Manifesto, 2 ways to manage the economy. Daily Graphic reported this one. You can copy our ideas, but can't copy our performance. Al-Haji Mahamudu Bawumia tells the NDC, the Ghanaian Observer. Yesterday it was reported by the New Crusading Guide. Today the Ghanaian Observer has covered this particular story. So what we're going to do is, given the fact that these two are speaking to the manifestos, we will just marry these two topics and then they'll address these two issues together. Over 2 million jobs created under Akufo-Addo, says Nana B. New Weekend Crusading Guide reported this particular story. Yesterday, I think they met on Paul Adomoche's program, Nana B, and then the youth organizer of the NDC, what's his name? Opariado, yeah. They met on Pablo. They met on Good Evening Ghana. I'm sure this story is emanating from that interview. So these are the topics that we've tabled for conversation. And I know that Honorable A.B. Husseini would like to greet his constituents. So let me allow you to greet your constituents first before I come to, before we move to discuss the African story. So quickly, sir.
Yeah, let me say good morning to your good self, my brother Sabo. I hope the ink coming late, then Amona will come.
Hopefully.
And to your technical people of Pan-Africa, we are making the waves.
Thank you.
Let me say a usual good morning to the Brichina people of the Sanaro constituency. The people with deep-seated integrity, whose loyalty, commitment to the aspirations of the development of the Sanaro constituency is unquestionable and cannot be mortgaged on the altar of any inducement, money, whatever you take it. They are Brichina people. They will stand their grounds.
Well, is this to suggest that people are using money?
Oh, you know that they are doing that in politics now, and you know that is a fact. Even not too long ago, we had to cause an announcement. Some MP people were going around collecting voter ID cards.
For what?
As part of the exercise to induce people to try and collect voter ID cards of women. In fact, they started with women. And the alarm blew. In fact, there was actually a confrontation in some place where they saw some of them even holding their cards. And in Sanaru town, and they had to create some serious problem for them to run away. So I'm sure those kinds of things. But people should know that Ghanaians, Kwame, you don't strip somebody naked in public and go and clothe him in private. If you give me such levels of deprivation and others and made my life worse, it doesn't take some pittance of a day or two to come and convince me that you are better listening. Let your work speak for you. Like Professor Lumumba said, when you have done the work, let the work talk for you. And I think that will be the lesson. So I salute them and all the viewers of Pan-Africa. Pan-Africa is the station to tune into. I'm sure that they are making the waves.
We're grateful, sir.
I'm not blowing your trumpet for nothing, but it is evidence on the ground.
Thank you.
In Sanaru, the most watched television station is Pan-Africa in Sanaru.
Thank you. Hopefully you invite the Constituency Connect team to your constituency soon.
Inshallah.
Yeah, you know they've been
put them on standby when they are.
They've been to Western North.
Okay.
They've been to Accra.
I'm sure they've not come to the north yet.
They've not come to the north yet.
See, and that is the problem. Most of the this when you people in the south do all your programs, is concentrated in the south. But I hope Pan-Africa will break that.
No. In fact, today they are going to the Oti region as well.
Okay.
So they've done Volta region.
Very
they've
good.
done Greater Accra. They've done some parts of Ashanti.
I'll be happy to feature.
No, definitely.
Yeah, and I will give them whatever support to come to the north.
Yeah.
Not only for me, but even in the Tamale area and even the outlying constituencies in the northern region, so that you can have a better feel of what.
If Tijani, you are watching, let's have a conversation and then. Honorable, I mean, the coup makers have launched new round of transition talks with the actors in Mali. What do you make of that? Are we making a headway? Do you think we are going to finally bring the matter to a closure?
Let's first and foremost indicate in clear terms that there's not much room for upstaging the constitutional and democratic process in the West Africa sub-region. I think in a number of our ECOWAS protocols, copious reference is made to the need to respect the constitutional dispensation and to ensure that all grievances are channeled through dialogue and others in order to resolve it peacefully, so that West Africa sub-region, which was excuse me to use the word, this one is without malice, notorious for political instability. Would have that sorry chapter put behind us, so that the regime of democracy and fundamental human rights and freedoms would reign supreme. So first and foremost, that ought to be made very clear. So anybody who upstages the constitutional or democratic process must be reined in. We must not give solace to people to seek remedies from please, like, we need more time to hand over and we are engaged in an illegal process to begin with, a process that is frowned on generally by the entirety of the citizens of the sub-region. So I think that as short as possible a transition, and I don't think it should, if you have to do the year, at most 2 years, because you are talking of, even some even say within a year, but because some transitional arrangements will have to be made, constitution will have to be prepared, elections will have to come on, and those ones. That's why sometimes people think that maybe a maximum of 2 years is fine for them to hand over. So I think that working within that framework, that this ought not to have happened in the first case. It's happened. Now let's find a very nice way in which we can get the constitutional process back. And so I think that if talks are going on to ensure that we work out a transitional arrangement to ensure the return of democracy as speedily as possible, it should be fine. So that should be the framework.
Honorable, one of the fundamental elements of democracy is to ensure constitutionalism.
Yes.
And if constitutionalism does not operate in its fine sense, then people would have the, if you will, the impetus. You know,
I was coming to that.
Okay, sir.
That,
sir.
But we first and foremost have to make it clear that the democratic order has been accepted. Let us all endeavor to operate by the rules and regulations governing the democratic process, so that the constitutional dispensation is not upstaged and supplanted by some authoritarian or despotic system. Having said that, Kwame, you see, if you are also chasing away the hyena, you must also blame the goat for bleating too loud. There are people who operate under constitutional dispensation, but they are more despotic than even some of the despots.
Absolutely.
You see, when you flout the fundamental rules of democracy, and part of democracy, like I've said, is to even endeavor to unite your people. There are leaders who come to power and they behave as if they are monarchs. They don't behave as if they are democratically elected people. Kwame, it doesn't wash. So in as much as we have to condemn in toto any attempt to supplant the democratic process, we must also talk about the errant behavior of leaders, which sometimes lend credence, give a pretext for coup makers to seize and do some of these things. So that at the end of the day, it is a marriage of all the processes that we talk about.
Yeah.
Respect for the constitutionalism and the democratic process that all of us have agreed to.
Absolutely.
So that the rule of law applies in all situations. But if you come and you think that you are now omnipotent, that thing is beyond what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, irrespective of whether life sections of your people are adversely impacted or not, you will do it because you have power.
There's still
I think that sort of mentality doesn't also bode well for the entrenchment of our democratic process.
In order to bolster that confidence in the democratic dispensation in any jurisdiction, right, it is also imperative that we look at, for instance, the conduct of an election and how participation, which plays a central role in ensuring that elections are properly held, must also be respected.
Yes.
But if you look at all of these other African countries, participation has always been a problem. The people feel oftentimes, ostracized from the process. So then it leads them into acting in a way that will find expression in their own feeling, if you will.
Yeah, you see, and even Kwame, even including in our own system, you still need some bit of reforms to make elections as free, fair, transparent, and peaceful as possible. Because to a very large extent, Kwame, especially in Francophone West Africa, you still have structures in the electoral process which clearly impinge on transparent, free, and fair elections. You have Constitutional Court, for instance, that is tasked with the responsibility of putting a stamp of approval on the electoral process. Kwame, I think in 1996, I went to cover the elections in Togo. And the experience was that, the electoral body is there, but there's a constitutional court. And there's also a constitutional, there's another body which is presided over by the Minister for Interior that validates elections. Okay? So, for instance, in the process, the electoral body started announcing results, and the opposition was leading. And then a stop was put to the announcement. The Ministry of Interior then comes, issues a statement, and declares, at that time it was President Yadema, the winner of the election. Okay? And so you see that the Minister of Interior, who is an appointee of the President,
absolutely,
has a crucial role to play in an electoral process. So can you imagine what will happen if he sees the results going in the direction that he doesn't side with? Like I said, in this case, it was going in the opposition way. Then something happened. Then I think at that time it was General Meme. And it happened, and the elections went that way. So you can see that obviously such an impediment ought to be taken away. The Constitutional Court, which also has a direct decision on the elections, is largely under the domain of government, the ruling party.
Absolutely.
So you can imagine. And so, Kwame, it also even in our system, appointments and others of judges and others to our superior courts, some of those choices have influences on determining cases that are election related. Kwame, you see what I mean? So we need to look at all this and see how we can make reforms that will make those who are in charge of our elections so-called neutral. At least their neutrality must be said that it's above board, that we cannot question their obvious decision. But like we have said today, for instance, if you tell me that the current electoral commission that we have, there are many people who question the neutrality of the current electoral commission that we have because of the background from where they are coming. Even one of them, Mr. Bosman, who is a former who is attained his NDC, Tescon patron of University of Ghana, Legon. You see, so when you have all these things, Kwame, featuring in an electoral process, it lends credence to assertion that the elections will not be free, fair, transparent, and therefore this peaceful nature will be in doubt.
Before we come,
it is. I think that as a sub-region in the various protocols that ECOWAS is developing, we must endeavor to encourage reforms, further reforms in our different countries, so that it can inure to the benefit of the people, so that their votes will count, so that they will have more confidence. Once their votes count and they know that this is a legitimate, transparent process, the people's confidence in the system will be boosted. And that is how we grow and nurture democratic dispensations. When Obama came here, he encouraged us that it is not about strong men or women, but it's strong institutions. So this is how we can build the institutional capacity to ensure that our democracy is real. I mean, you hear that in America, Mr. Trump is ranting and railing against mail ballots. But the system is telling him that, my friend, that is even part of the thing which contributed to your victory. During the election that brought you to power, mailing ballots were used. So you have no authority to set anything aside. America's system is strong enough to absorb all those kind of influence a president wants to stamp on the electoral process. So you see that he cannot manipulate the system. The system is strong. So that is the strong institutions we need to build in order to anchor our democratic process. So that once our democracy is anchored, all these things are done. Those who assume power not because they think they are machos. They are omnipotent. They can do whatever they like. But come back and respect the will and aspirations of the people. Our democracy will entrench. And so I think that all in all, we have to put all this together to help our nascent democracy grow and entrench as a democratic dispensation that will work for the benefit of all of us.
Okay, I think you found a way of answering my question. I wanted to ask you about the event that leads to some of these things. Because sometimes the process that leads to an event. Because sometimes we often look at the event.
Yeah, without looking at the process.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Because when the people feel that their will has been subverted for far too long, they have no other.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That if you behave in a very capricious, whimsical,
absolutely,
and haughty manner, that you came as a Democrat, but you are exhibiting undemocratic tendencies. You have a propensity to subvert the will of the people. The interests and aspirations of the people are brushed aside, and then you act like you are a monarch, you are a dictator, you are a despot. That narrows the door to participation of the people in governance, and that is why we must know that even after elections, the participation of the people in the governance of the country is key.
Government is grassroots participation.
Exactly. So when these avenues are shut, you are making peaceful and orderly governance almost impossible. And this can result in some of these unwanted things that all of us are talking about.
Samuel, please come in.
Thank you, Kwame.
You're welcome, sir.
Let me take the opportunity to say good morning to our cherished viewers. Good morning to my elder brother here.
New York of Ghana.
The people of New York of Ghana, Nima,
And
the capital of the world, Tamale.
Yeah.
And yourself, your crew, and the entire leadership of the New Patriotic Party. Kwame, let me also take this opportunity to say a special good morning to my brother, the candidate for Tamale Central, Dr. Ibrahim Anyas. He also doubles as the CEO of the NAPCO. He's a very fine gentleman, Kwame. If you meet him, you will like him. Very soft-spoken and adorable young man. Very handsome, too. I wish him the best. In fact, I am coming home to actually support him big time.
Oh, I thought you were going to support the obvious.
Which one is obvious?
Kwame Mutala is there. Where are you going to?
Well, Mutala is also my brother.
So
but I think he's gone to the wrong house. Unfortunately. I'll try to see how best I can bring him back to home. Mutala is my very close friend.
Yeah.
But I told we're in the same school, and he was my house prefect.
Okay.
Yes, the Pima house in Tatko.
Okay.
Yes. Kwame, with this issue, let me first of all look at it this way.
Okay.
If you look at the North African revolution in recent times.
What they call the Arab Spring.
Arab Spring, yes. In recent times, you realize that it took a different dimension.
Absolutely.
Unlike what normally happens in West Africa. And like my brother nicely put it, we've been noted for staging coups in West Africa until recent times that it has actually braided. And even Ghana was even the number one. In fact, if you check the history, Ghana was even up to now, Ghana is leading. Now it's time to be corrected. Oh, yes. Mention the country that has taken coup more than.
The number of coups, yeah.
Number of coups.
I wouldn't doubt you. Charlie, like,
Oh, yes.
Ghana, we had a penchant for.
I'm telling you. It's just that, in fact, you can't count them. 66. Let me just count them fast for you. We have Kotoka and then this thing. That's 66. Yes. Then we have Achampon. Achampon just came 72. Is that not it? Then we have Afrifa also came. Then Akufu came. Then Rollis came.
Rollis came twice.
Thank you. In fact, thank you.
And then they attempted and failed once.
Yes. Yes. Akatapore and Co and Ali Dukiwa and the rest. The one that they failed. So
Ghana sweet too. Ghana sweet.
So you see, but if you look at the North African distance,
yes, sir.
Like you were saying, it's the will of the people. So it's the sovereignty of the people. So if indeed, if it is a national outcry, if it is a national problem, if it is the president or the head of the state who is actually trying to suppress the will of the people, then I think you should use the masses to actually establish your standpoint. Okay. Then that one, of course, it will be a true reflection and representation of the people.
Absolutely.
But if you have 2 or 3 people picking up arms just because in their small corner they feel that the government is cheating the people, would that actually the people themselves actually coming up to show that? Then for me, I don't think we should ever entertain it in any uncertain terms. I don't think that's the proper way. At least you can go to the people. Try to educate them. Try to let them understand how they can fight for their rights and the rest. We also have parliaments. We also have civil society groups that we can actually resort to for all these people to put pressure on the government and even force the international community to come in. And then I believe then we can have a way of actually saving the situation. But resorting to arms, I will never support that. Absolutely. I think even in opposition, I have said several times on air that I'll fight whoever will ever take arms against the NDC government till my last blood drops. Because that one, I will never support it in any way. Because it is not going to bring anything good to all sides.
Mostly they come even for their own personal interest.
Exactly. I don't know, they're the same people. Thank you very much. So for me, the people of Mali, yes, I agree that for now, we cannot use force on them. Because Kwame, it is just like if armed people come to take your parent hostage. Of course, they can never be your friends. But you need to treat them with friendship.
Of course.
At that stage. Meanwhile, everybody knows that they are not your friends. But because for the safety of your parents, you have nothing than to smile with them, than to always obey them, and then listen to them, and then, worship them until you get your parents freed. So the same thing, for the love of the people of Mali, the international community has no option than to entertain these people. To find a way, to let them leave or exit power safe so that nobody is hurt. Now there's nothing, absolutely nothing we can do. That is why I've been saying that, of course, enactment of laws after this experience, I believe that is what has guided even Ghana to date, that this time around, somebody cannot be bold enough to just pick up this thing and then say that I'm going to overthrow a president. Because we've come that far and our laws have also been carved in such a way that to protect and then prevent such occurrences in this country.
But even the proliferation of media and things like that would even make it difficult.
No, that is it. In fact, say it again. Gone are the days when something will happen in Accra and it will take 1 week to get to Tamale.
Yeah.
Today it's happening and people are watching it live.
Fili.
Yeah. So there's nothing. There's no way you can hide and what have you. Kwame, quite apart from that, I also feel that, what they call it, coup makers. Sometimes we politicians, in fact, in recent times, they can never be coup without the hands of politicians in it. So, even the Mali one, you let them investigate finally. So you see that, yes, some people are behind it.
Where we leave the view.
Thank you very much. So I believe the same politicians must also be talked to. And that they must also understand, the feeling of the people. That it is not always about your interest. Kwame, you agree with me? Even though maybe we'll come to that, they call their this in the people's, what they call it, manifesto. But that's not true.
That is what it is. You say
no, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. The same people are asking questions. If there is the same people, when you, of course, on the media land, everywhere, people ask. But no. When you say, we'll get to that because
it's a topic on its own.
I know what I
So let me just land here. Please land here.
With the issue of people being appointed, especially when they talked about Togo, the Constitutional Committee and the rest, the Minister of Interior being the appointees of the government and for them determining who wins an election. Of course, that is very wrong. But Kwame, when it's said appointees, I don't see any difference between what is happening in Togo and Ghana. I think I've always said Ghana do the same thing. It's the government to electoral commissioner who appoints. When there's a need for an electoral commissioner to be appointed, who appoints?
That's the thing. But I think this is the process.
No. I just
they have an EC, obviously appointed by.
Let me come, regardless of whatever.
The people are
because if the minister is appointed as an interior minister, the interior minister is to ensure the safety and security of the people of the country and not the president alone.
You see, let me make.
Let me come.
The interior minister said it's not just about providing security, but even determining the outcome of the election.
You are not getting. No, that's what I'm trying to. No, you are not getting my point. The reason why I believe the wisdom that actually made the Togolese this thing to make the interior minister to declare the outcome of the electoral is because of security issues. When they realize that even indeed this person has won, but the election should not be declared now because the security situation is not good for the announcement. How do I get me? Maybe to me, that is what informed them to put it under the umbrella of the interior minister. And I am saying that even in Ghana here, Minister of Interior, his work is not to ensure only the safety of the president or the security of the president, but his work is to ensure the safety and security of the entire citizenship of Ghana. Is that not it, Kwame?
Absolutely.
Very good. So I am saying that if even EC, his work, her work, of course, I think yes, a woman so I'm talking in terms of Ghana's EC. Her work is to ensure free, fair, and transparent election. Is that not it? And the person is appointed by the president. Even if the person should go by those things and is even firm, the perception out there is that once the person is appointed by the president, there's some kind of loyalty that the person, yes, will have to the president. So I have always said this: if there should be some kind of a framework that can be done, so that it is rather civil society groups who normally even have the power
to appoint.
Not even to appoint, but to determine who is actually qualified to occupy that office. Of course, Kwame, in your setup here, you have a hierarchy. So at a point in time, one of you know that I am the next to become this.
Yeah.
Because it's a hierarchical distance. So that if that kind of system is established, so that at a point in time, or they know that any former chief justice can become the head of Electoral Commission. Or any citizen who has ever worked in this particular institution can become, is a candidate to become the Electoral Commissioner. Then I believe with that one, we'll be shifting from those kind of standpoint. Because today, as we speak, NDC in their heads, maybe he will start to deny here, they have it that when they come to power, they will remove this woman. For now, that is their thinking. That is their belief. That one also can also appoint our own EC chair. I'm telling you, from all the things that they've been saying, that's why, yes, of course, they are not ready to work with this current EC chair, simply because she has been appointed by a different party.
That's why.
And they are also. No. Charlotte Osei, of course, if you observe me, Charlotte Osei, I didn't have interest.
I think somebody didn't subscribe to that.
Yes, I didn't have interest in her removal.
It's what the MPP did.
No. But I am the one sitting here.
Yeah, but I'm saying that you are speaking.
So he is referring to me, the one
MPP has done.
No, I think Sabo himself personally, because
yes.
Yeah, in some instances, you've also disagreed with the party before.
The persona of Sabo in this matter doesn't matter. What matters is what the NPP as a party and the government has done.
But there are individuals who make up the NPP party.
That is the point.
There are individuals who make up the
NPP will listen to Sabo.
So Kwame,
yes,
conclusion.
We find
in conclusion.
Yeah.
I think we need to be learning lessons from our mistakes and try to let it guide us in our future events.
Right. Thank you very, very, very much, Honorable Sabo, for your submission on this subject matter. Now we're coming back home to discuss some very important issues, pertinent issues, issues that are crucial, particularly because we are going into an election, which is just about 87 days away. And it is going to inform our decision as to which political party we should give our thumbs to. And we should give our support and our prayers and our will to. I'm coming back from this, when I come back from this break that I'm about to go, we are going to be dealing holistically with the manifestos. Battle of Manifesto. 2 ways to manage economy. And then find a way of also marrying, the fact that President John Dramani Mahama is accusing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo of stolen legacies and recognition phobia. Right now, the former president is throwing punches. Papa, right now, he's giving up a cut. It's like DK poison. Anyway, so when we come back from this break, these are the 2 main issues that we're going to be touching on. And then we will subsequently look at the fact also that the National Youth Organizer of the MPP, in the person of lawyer Nana B. Esquire, is saying that they've created over 2 million jobs under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Let's go for this quick break. Stay with us.
Breakfast of the day, every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Breakfast of the day, every day. Every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back. Thank you very kindly for staying tuned into Pan-African Television. Let me respectfully remind you again that the WhatsApp number is active. It's 0260846539. And we're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. With the grace of respect to you, sirs and madams and cousins and uncles, you can share with us what your thoughts are, and we will be glad to read them here for you. Let me remind you again the topics that we're going to be touching on right now. Mahama is accusing Akufo-Addo of stolen legacies and recognition phobia. Battle of Manifesto, 2 ways to manage economy. You can copy our ideas but can't copy our performance, says Baumia. And over 2 million jobs created and Akufo-Addo. These are the topics that are left for our conversation this morning. But currently, we are going to kickstart yet another important conversation with Honorable Ibi Fusena, I beg your pardon, on the subject matter of the Battle of Manifesto. Sir.
Yeah. Kwame, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Kwame, I've always said that a lie is like a pregnancy. The older it goes, the more exposed it becomes. And before I come
please
to the
Almighty
indefatigable People's Manifesto, that will come and liberate the good people of this country from not only the startling incompetence of the MPP, but how the MPP has driven a nail in the coffin of their poverty and deprivation. and consigned Ghanaians for the last 4 years to the unprecedented level of hardship and suffering that they have never seen before. Kwame,
yes, sir.
Let me just speak first and foremost from Dr. Bawunya. And I've said that I pity my brother so much. And that is why I started by telling the media and the MPP, their philosophy is to consign people from the northern part of this country to second fiddle. Kwame, I'll wait for the day that they will rise to the top and take the leadership of the party.
But Paul Afogo was there.
Where? That's
Afogo became chairman.
Party leader can never aspire to be flag bearer. Our brother, His Excellency Aliyu Mama, 8 years as a vice president. He had passed the apprenticeship. When they went to primaries for him, go and see what happened to him. They showed him where he belonged. May Allah be pleased with his soul. But I'm saying that, Dr. Bawunya, anytime there's a dirty job to be done, he's the one they use. Kwame, meanwhile, go and find his level of influence in the party. Search. Now just listen to him. And I'm saying that sometimes you should take a back stage and listen to himself. Because he's saying that NDC, as we have stolen the manifesto of the MPP, isn't it? Kwame, I've heard Dr. Bawunya himself said the NDC manifesto is empty. The same Bawunya who says we NDC, we have done nothing. We just simply went and lifted the MPP manifesto, hook, line, and sinker, and supplanted it as the NDC manifesto. Is that not the case? But he has described our manifesto as empty.
What does that make this?
That there's nothing in our manifesto. So we have gone and lifted your manifesto, isn't it? And planted it as our manifesto. And your conclusion is that our manifesto is empty, it's sterile. There's nothing productive about it. So what does it say about your logic? Because simple logic and reasoning will say that then it means you, if we have truly, let's take for the purposes of this argument that what he says is true. We have lifted the MPP manifesto and put in hook, line, and sinker. Oh, Kwame, if that is the case, it means the MPP manifesto is empty, it's sterile, it's unproductive, it's a total waste of time. This is Dr. Baunya's own statement. This is his own assessment on the MPP manifesto itself. So if you take him by his logic, he's completely out of place. Kwame, let me talk about...
If you were to put this statement in mathematical terms, you see the logic in it.
No,
Okay.
No, you are saying that.
All right. Let Honorable make his point.
It's very clear. Anybody with any iota of logic, we see it clearly. You are saying that we had no ideas, so we stole your manifesto.
Exactly.
And then the manifesto that you are now doing a critique on is empty.
Exactly.
It's sterile.
Exactly.
It's, so if it's sterile, is your manifesto? It's just common sense. This one you don't need to reason far. You can't think far, as many people say, to arrive at that conclusion. You see, Kwame.
Yes, sir.
And when President Mama says that there's no recognition by the current president, His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo, Kwame, there are many facets of life that President Akufo-Addo inherited projects, inherited important events and issues from President Mahama and never acknowledged. Never. Even some they were he's even reluctant to go and do. Like the terminatory that is the talk of the whole world. Even simply to acknowledge that, look, my predecessor has done this work. Let me go and commission it.
How much did it cost?
Kwame, it was difficult for him. Very difficult. In spheres of economy. Kwame, in so many spheres I can't count. To the point that today, even in Dagbon, and I'm taking interest in that because I'm a citizen of the area, and I function as a deputy minister under His Excellency President Mahama, and I know in the Dagbon peace process, the role starting from President Kufuor to President Mills to President Mahama, I know the roles all these people played, and His Eminence, the King of Ashanti, Nana Osei Tutu, I know the critical roles they played. President Akufo-Addo goes there and lays a claim to as if he is the one who sold moto. And Kwame, listen to these people who claim that Kwame Nkrumah is not the founder of the country because he's not the one who single-handedly did it. Nana Akufo-Addo wants to pretend that he single-handedly is the person who brought peace to Dagbon. And this very funny title that I don't know how you call it. Ulakiboni title says it doesn't do. It's a funny title. Yinma. The title you people conferred on the dissing. Probably, I know for a dissing that the first thing that should have been done was number one to recognize all, including President Mahama. Not a single recognition has been given to President Mahama in the Dagbon peace process by Nana Akufo-Addo. Kwame, all the infrastructure that was built, Kwame, in particular, the palaces of the elders, who are critical to the performance of the funeral of a Yana and critical to the installation of a Yana. All these edifices were built by President Mahama. Without those facilities, no funeral could have been performed. No installation could have taken place. Okay? Not to talk of even in the process of the roadmap that they used to shuttle to Nana Otumfuo and his committee of eminent kings to get that solution at the end of the day. But for Nana's intervention and all this, we couldn't have gotten that solution. But for President Mahama and co, his government making facilities available. You know, they were talking about even vehicles that were given. A lot of vehicles were given to help them to commute. Kwame. For some of these very important functions that ended up bringing peace to Dagbon. In fact, the role of President Mahama was so recognized, so crucial that the acting overlord at that time, Kampokwena Yakubu and then Abdullahi, bestowed on President Mahama Zo Malguna. Okay, Malguna itself is a big title. Then you add Zo. Zo means fuller, bigger, chief reconciler. That is the essence of the title. And I put it on record. And they claim that before MPP came, Nana Akufo-Addo came, both Abudus and Adanis were not meeting. That is patent, palpable falsehood. Kwame, in 2015, I think that was in January 2015, both Abudus and Adanis at the forecourt of the Doha Palace, that's Damba. Damba. And the Abudu delegation was led by this chief in Tamale, Aruna constituency ma.
Well, constituency, go to Abbey.
No, Kabuchao. Oh, Namita.
How did I do so?
No, the chief. The chief who led the delegation, just that his name is slipping. Yes, I will get the name. I'll get the name. He led the delegation. So both Abudus and Danis met and danced Damba. Fantastic. Beauty and unity of Dagon had commenced. So it was a simple matter of giving recognition where it due. Where it was due and proceed with whatever achievements you have also come to. Because it's a collective process. That this man builds up to this, you come and also take over and build on it. That has been difficult. To mention President Mama is too heavy for Nana Akufo-Addo. He can't mention President Mama's name with an achievement. But if it's something that is a disadvantage, God of mercy, it flows like a river. Okay? So Kwame, it is there. There are more important issues today on the genuine People's Manifesto.
Okay. Let me look at it.
Yes,
let me have
Kwame.
a feel of it.
Look at it.
No, let me touch it.
Beautiful.
I want to touch it. I've touched the MP.
Kwame.
Let me touch this one.
You can even see that you can tell a ripe corn by its look.
This one is
So
not,
this is the People's
this one is
Manifesto.
not-
Kwame, let me.
Why is this one not as big as the Green Book?
Oh, if you look at even the typesetting and others, but
Yeah,
Kwame,
okay.
it's encompassing.
Yeah.
When we have the opportunity to go into it, you see the goodies that are there in this great manifesto. The MPP is saying we took this for all that. Kwame, the ideas that we have in it, they never have it. Some of them even today they are crying mama. Especially when we go into places like the ideas we have for people who are operating the Okada, the abolition of license, all those other things, scrapping of the law that they have brought to prevent this salvage vehicles and others from coming. Kwame, we go into all those things. And the good people, including even from Kwame, something that will interest you. And I urge you that after reading, get a copy of this manifesto and read. As a law student who has been struggling to go to law school, after reading this, you will vote. In fact, if you had the opportunity to put your both hands and feet and vote, you would have voted for the NDC. Kwame, let me say why we christened this. It is a manifestation of the work that we have done. Previous attempts have been has been a paternalistic approach, where you sit at the top and assume that you know everything. You are all knowing. You are all seeing. And so you can decipher all the problems of the country and then assemble a small group of people to put those ideas together in the form of a manifesto to sell to the people. Okay? Kwame, His Excellency the President, President Mahama, by the grace of Allah Almighty, the next president on January 7th, 2021. You see, Kwame decided together with the leadership of the NDC to go to the grassroots, to go to the people. I'm sure it's not a secret. And everybody knew that we were moving from place to place, from institution to institution. And Kwame, what you find in this manifesto is the product of that excellent interaction between the good people of this country and the NDC leadership. So a lot of the things we are put in here, Kwame, emanates directly from the people. We met Okada people, and they told us that this is what we want in your manifesto. This government has treated us with scorn. They are harassing us. We cannot go about our normal duties. Our lives are threatened. We cannot feed our wives and children, because sometimes when you go and take the earnings, you are arrested and everything is taken away from you. Meanwhile, we are doing genuine work to contribute to the economic growth of this country. So listen to us. These are our concerns. Kwame, we listened. And like I tell you, the good news is here. We will read it for you to see. The same as law students. You have an association, Kwame.
Yeah.
They have also indicated that the NDC approached them, listen to them, and their concerns are here. Today, they are saying that between their concerns and the MPP concerns in the manifesto, they will rate the NDC far above the MPP. And so a lot of their membership are amenable to vote for the NDC come this election. You see, Kwame, and lots more of these farmers, fishermen, market women, all those things. We interacted with all of them. That is in tandem with our stature as a grassroots democratic party, a social democratic party. The orientation being the protection of the vulnerable, the disadvantaged, the marginalized, and the oppressed. So, Kwame, that is the understanding. So, Sabo was trying to deride it that it's not the people. We got it directly from the people. Everything that is coming here, unlike you having your elitist mentality, sat down and just thought you assembled some people to go and put some high-sounding, falutin words that makes no meaning to the vast majority of the people. That is not the case. Now, Kwame, the 2020 election, December 7, 2020 election, is going to be fought on the basis of trust. Who is trustworthy to keep his promises? Kwame, while indicating that it is important to know that you may not be able to achieve everything in 4 years, but the percentage of what you achieve and the degree to which you approach the people to explain issues to them matters a lot. Kwame, and in our manifesto, if you look at this, Kwame, this green book, okay, this green book, Kwame, contains what we did up to 2016. Okay,
I have one.
The MPP attempted to contest the decision and woefully failed. In fact, they even touted that some of the projects, like the University of Ghana Medical Center of Excellence, existed in the Green Book. Allah Almighty never makes a mistake. When the coronavirus came and were challenging the health sector, where did most of their ministers' appointees take refuge? At the same University of Ghana Medical Center they talked about as being one in the Green Book and not on the ground.
What page was that? Page is it page 27 or whatever?
Yes. Okay. So let me say without any utter equivocation that ours is based on the popular will of the people of this country, and I have no doubt in my mind, by the grace of Allah Almighty, inshallah, the people, because we have listened to them and we have presented a manifesto that meets their interests and aspirations, will vote massively for the NDC in the December election. Now, Kwame, what are the key issues that we are presenting to Ghanaians in our manifesto? Yes, Kwame, our manifesto is titled Jobs and Prosperity for All and More, because we recognize that at the center of this thing is jobs. Sector by sector, how we are going to get the jobs that are available in the public sector. Kwame, there's not much time for me to read to you, but I can indicate to you that from the Ghana Police, Ghana Education, Ghana Health Service, Ghana Fire Service, all down to many state institutions, we are looking at the possibility. And in our manifesto, we are projecting that a conservative estimate of about 250,000 jobs a year. Very, very conservative. But even what we've done in computing some of these jobs and vacancies and the cost, Kwame, we are not just computing the jobs, where a conservative estimate in the public sector, we are talking about over 300, closer to about 400,000 jobs. Okay? We are talking about cost. We are saying about the cost of approximately about 6.9 billion. And we are also further indicating where the money will come from. So this is a very scientific, down-to-earth manifesto. And how we can fund, sources of funding. Kwame, we have indicated, for instance, they will ask us the question, how after making all this, where are you going to get the money from? How are you going to fund it? Kwame, and we are indicating even our sources of funding. Kwame, we are saying, for instance, that, look, if you reduce the number of ministers under this over-bloated, expansive Obolo government by just 40, over 130 something ministers, Kwame, if you reduce it by just 40 per, Kwame, you are going to make a savings annually of about almost 69 million Ghana cedis. Conservative. Okay? The same as the over-bloated presidential staffers and appointees. If you reduce it by 200, just 200.
You guys were working with...
We are going to make a savings of over 187 million Ghana cedis.
Because now the current staffers, I think, are about 1,862. And
yes.
Then you guys had just about 800.
Yes. So Kwame, we are going sector by sector. And I can tell you, if you were to reduce, not too long ago, even the CSOs and others talked about corruption. The corruption alone cost Ghana about 9 billion a year. So, unlike President Akufo-Addo, who came and said that, he's going to use the Anas principle to fight corruption. And Anas gives him the thing, and he's in a hurry to throw it away. When Anas gave him the tip on Charles Bisiu and others, where they were collecting money, nyafu. What has he done about it? He's thrown it away. The same announced principle he says he will adopt. But President Mahama has indicated that we are going to anchor and gratuitously fund anti-corruption agents to pursue those who are engaged in acts of corruption. And look, the person who has done it before will say that he can do it again. And you believe him. Amala and Kwame.
Absolutely.
He's done it before. If you go under NDC, even the issues of corruption were pursued. Okay? So Kwame, we have had it, including even reversing the tax waiver regime. Look at the NPP. They are giving tax waiver. The president is even giving to his brother-in-laws who are going to construct hotels. Kwame, somebody is going to construct his hotel. And he needs a tax waiver from the state to the tune of hundreds of millions of Ghana cedis. What kind of system is this? So we will deal with, we will cut all this, Kwame, and we will more than get the resources that will be there to fund the jobs that we are going to create. Because the youth of this country stand in their need of jobs. And Kwame, when we talk about jobs, we are talking about sustainable jobs. Then Kwame, come to our big push. The 10 billion that we are going to use for infrastructure.
Infrastructure, big push.
Kwame, when you have an aggressive pursuit of infrastructure, you are creating sustainable jobs. You are going to build roads, you build markets, you build schools, you build hospitals. Kwame, you do infrastructure. You are going to get an array of people ranging from entrepreneurs, business owners, architects, carpenters, masons, secretaries. All manner of people are going to get jobs. Kwame, and go back and take our record. If you compare our record, Kwame, when we were in government under President Mahama from 2013 to 2016, our percentage of infrastructure to GDP was 4.5%. Kwame, go and look at the MPP's record. Percentage of infrastructure to GDP shrank to 1.2%. A miserable, paltry 1.2%. So no wonder Nana Akufo-Addo is running away from the infrastructure debate. Because he cannot match President Mahama. 1.2 and 4.5%. What are you going to show? Kwame, to the fact that today we said that they should show us one national hospital they built in 4 years. Kwame is not there. He, President Nana Akufo-Addo, promised 350 senior secondary schools from the scratch. Single one. Benje, Sabo, Zaire, Obunmi. He has not built. So Kwame, if a man says he will give you a hat, look on his head. He promised us all this infrastructure, 350. He couldn't build one. Okay? And so, Kwame, it goes without saying that the MPP is bereft of ideas. And I will show you why they don't think outside the box. We have indicated in our manifesto that, Kwame, we shall abolish the obnoxious double track. And they are beside themselves. You are lying. How can you do that within 1 year? And that's why we say, Kwame, they are not thinking outside the box. Kwame, let me just give you one ingenious way the NDC thinks outside the box and has found a solution to this problem. Kwame, we had interactions, like I said, this manifesto springs from the will of our people. In meeting part of the stakeholders, we met an organization called CHOPS.
Okay.
CHOPS, Conference of Heads of Private Schools. And in our interaction with us, Kwame, they gave us a lot of useful ideas. To the effect that today, Kwame, as part of the ending of the obnoxious system, we are going to take advantage of their facilities. Kwame, you know that some of them have wonderful classroom blocks and others for ending this obnoxious double track. So by incorporating the private sector and the private schools into the senior high secondary system, we are going to largely solve that problem. And then, Kwame, have enough space within, we say, we in the system, within 2 years, the array of infrastructure, and Kwame, we have done it before. When we say something, we go back to our record. You remember under His Excellency President Mills, may Allah Almighty be pleased with his soul. Kwame, when President Kufuor extended the GSS system to 4 years from 3 years, you remember? There was a deficit.
The Anoma Committee that was set
yes,
up.
there was a deficit of classroom blocks.
Yeah.
Immediately on assumption of office, the NDC took it like it was on war footing and pursued an aggressive construction of facilities in our second cycle institutions. Kwame, and within a year, we sorted out that problem. The NPP is beside them. They Kwame, and look at the, let me give you the statistics. They are contending with even less than 200,000 backlog. In the days when the NDC was confronted with that problem, the figure was over 400, about 480,000 students at that time. But within a year, we managed to put. NPP said that they can only end the obnoxious system in 5 years' time. Look at them. They are not thinking outside the box. And Kwame, in incorporating the private sector, President Mahama was already indicated that we are going to absorb part of the fees, at least about 50% of the free HS system, to extend into the private sector. So they are very, very well enthused about the this thing that we are bringing to them. So Kwame, that is further going to create jobs, because I can tell you now that Kwame, many of the private sector, they are so distressed that they are thinking of laying off a lot of their teachers, because for the last how many months they have not gone to school, and a lot of them are under threat. And furthermore, because they are not participating in the senior high school free system, they are under stress. So President Mahama's intervention there with this our manifesto is a huge relief that without doubt has been greeted with enthusiasm and rousing welcome by the private sector. Kwame, we are talking about a situation where I mentioned Okada. Kwame, nobody can deny that today Okada has grown in leaps and bounds. That today is a source of livelihood for over 1 million Ghanaians. More than that, if you are talking to even those who are in the Okada business, Kwame, they themselves are ranging in the hundreds of thousands across the length and breadth of this country. So it is time to regulate. I have heard arguments being made by the NPP that it was the NDC which legislated against Okada. It is not true. Kwame, go back. It is as far back as the Road Safety Act of 1974.
Oh, good.
So it is us in the NDC who have the vision and the courage to say that, look, if this was in 1974 and it even came up to 2012 and NDC were in power. Today is 2020. In 2020, you don't allow things that have become archaic, outmoded, and needed to form to remain because they were there yesterday. The fact that they were there yesterday, a visionary leader will look at them and say, in the light of today's development, it is no longer possible to maintain that one. We will change it. That is a leader with vision and courage, and who is imbued with the requisite credentials to lead this country. That is the vision of President Mahama. So we are going to legalize Okada, so that the people can go about their normal duties and contribute to the further development of our economy. It will create more jobs. Kwame, people who don't have any job to do and can enter into the Okada business, which is now regulated, will have the opportunity to do so and earn a decent living, rather than go and be armed robbers. Okay? Kwame, there's the issue of salvage cars. When this thing was brought to Parliament, Kwame, we in the minority, we spoke against it and said, look, it was a lazy approach. And the MPP was doing a comprador business on behalf of foreign companies. Because, Kwame, how many people can buy new cars in this country? Even if you say you are going to give Ghanaians, all Ghanaians loans, they can't all buy those cars. Okay? Number two, you are going to create unemployment. And in their backyard is Swami. And I'm very happy, Kwame, in Swami, as you said, when President Mahama announced, I heard they got a giant screen at Swami magazine. When President Mahama announced this, there was widespread jubilation on the fact that the salvage car thing that we talked about, that had threatened job losses at the magazine and confining them to misery and poverty. They are going to be there. We will make an amendment and take that aspect away and bring the salvage cars back. Kwame, we are talking about free primary health care. Free! Kwame, anybody at the district level, from the district hospitals down to the polyclinics, down to the clinics in the district, down to Chief's compound, we are going to make health care there free of charge at the primary health care level. Kwame, it is a healthy people who can be the lead agents in producing wealth for any nation. So a healthy people is a healthy nation, is a prosperous nation. So the fundamentals of our economic growth will rest on our ability to give free healthcare and accessible. Kwame, having given that right, we must make it justiciable. Justiciable means we must make it come to the reach of the people. Implement it in a manner. So part of it is the continuation of the numerous health interventions President Mahama made, including building chiefs compounds, building hospitals, and Kwame, when that record comes, the MPP is no match. We have challenged them, like I said, to produce a single hospital they have built in any region in this country since they came to power. Not a single. Not a single. So, Kwame, this is going to be our track record, and we are also giving free technical and vocational no, Kwame, there are a number of the institutions such as OIC, Opportunities Industrialization Corporation, which is the OIC, and what do you call it? A number of them who are not currently enjoying part of the free education that we are talking at the secondary level.
The TVET, I think there's even one on your way to Cape Coast.
Exactly. So there are a number of them. President Mahama is now roping all of them in. They will enjoy it free. In addition to that, we are doing a national apprenticeship program where master craftsmen will engage and train people at the cost of to government, and then they will be given small stipends. And at the end of their graduation, government will provide them kits in the respective areas they have trained to go and start jobs. We are very confident that even when they start the jobs, within a few years, they themselves will become employers. So you see the level of employment the NDC government will generate, even from an intervention such as this. Kwame, I've talked about, we are going to give tax reliefs. Yeah. Kwame, if you are employing 20 people or less, we are going to make your business tax-free. Okay, your corporate taxes will be free. Kwame, this is for small and medium. For medium scales, we are scaling it up to 2 years. And for the big corporations, Kwame, we are going to reduce their tax level. The MPP put in their manifesto for 4 years that they were going to reduce corporate tax from 25% to 20%. Kwame, for 4 years, they did zilch. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, they loaded more even taxes onto the private sector. We are going to do that. And in some of them, we will reduce their taxes from the medium scale from 25 to 15% to encourage the creation of more jobs. Kwame, our mothers are at the center of our development. The majority of the people of this country are women. And a lot of them are mothers. A lot of them are working mothers. They have found it very difficult coping with their motherly responsibilities at home with work. And especially when their period of maternity is coming. President Mahama and the NDC have seen their plight. Kwame, we went and met them. We listened to them. They made a plea. Kwame. And under the next NDC government, the maternity leave will be raised to 4 months for our mothers. I've already heard widespread applause from a lot of them on this initiative, and that it will give them more time to stay with their children. Okay? Kwame, we are talking about when it comes to teachers. Our teachers are the basis of our educational system. We will motivate them to perform, apart from increases in their emoluments and other conditions of service. Kwame, we are saying that one of the things they have cried against is the obnoxious licensure exams they are being subjected to. Kwame, people who have undertaken a professional course, they have gone and been tutored in that particular area, and their professional integrity is not in doubt because they come from reputable training institutions. You have further saddled them with national service. Again, so Kwame, we are saying that in addition to taking away the national service, we are going to abolish immediately. President Mahama assumes office on January 7th. We will abolish the obnoxious licensure exams they are being subjected to. And Kwame, like I said, we have indicated we are extending the free education at the SSS level to the private schools. And for pensioners, we have good news for them. Kwame, there's something that will be the 13th month. We all know that the year ends with 12 months. But in addition to ensuring prompt payment of their destiny and increases in line with inflation, Kwame, we are going to give them a 13th month bonus every year.
So my father, if you were allowed,
yes,
to have benefited.
Kwame, me, I'm also a pensioner now. I'm very happy about that good news, and I'm sure all pensioners across the length and breadth of the country
Well, you're 60.
will celebrate. Kwame, I'm 64. I'm getting to 65.
You're a handsome man.
Yes, so Kwame, I can indicate to you that this is greeted with widespread applause. Because for many pensioners, how to make even their meager pensions meet their needs is a problem. So this is something that will... Kwame, we have good news for the youth. The preponderance of our population is made up of youth. The youth are in tens of millions. Kwame, and I've said that, look, Kwame, the youth factor is something we need not to play with. Because if we don't get up and do something very radical and think outside the box and do something for our youth, Kwame, one day when the youth, the anger boils over and they explode, we can't contain them. You and I, who are elders and leaders, cannot escape blame. So it is important. And so for this one, President Mama will set up a separate ministry to deal with only the youth. A ministry for youth development, to concentrate solely on youth matters. To have a full budget, they will have a full array of resources to deal with matters of the youth. Kwame, this is a visionary government. This is a government that is motivated to getting to the will and aspirations of interests and aspirations of our people, to do their will. Kwame, and I think that together with various youth groups and others, President Mama is amenable to work with them. Kwame, I thought of the law school.
Honorable, step down on that for me because of time.
Yes. Kwame, I'm sure you don't show an indigene the way to his house. You have had your own struggles, how to enter law school. And there were even reports that because of the limited vacancies, they deliberately, allegations, they deliberately failed people who have gone and got it. Kwame, you go and get your LLB. Ally. Write all those exams and pass as a law student and come, you are going to Makwala. And fundamental law issues come there. And they say all of them, I heard the last time was about over 90-something% failed. Can you believe that? So under President Mama, he will set up a council for legal education. Kwame, that would deal with this.
By law.
Yes, by law, Kwame. Parliament, NDC by the grace of Allah will have an overwhelming parliamentary majority. And President Mama will bring the law to Parliament. And Parliament will pass that because we recognize that, Kwame, apart from training people for the bar and other things, there are many people in other spheres of our national endeavor who need lawyers to operate in their businesses. We need solicitors, we need advocates. And you know all the other areas of law where they are. So it is important that we do that, so that this one will be, in terms of infrastructure, where we will improve infrastructure in the Makwala law school there. Kwame, you decentralize it. You create more institutions, empower the various law faculties to undertake that exercise of giving them that further professional training. So that elitist mentality the MPP is supervising. Because it's not surprising. How can the offspring of Guinea fowl be walking when the mother is flying? So to them, we are not surprised about the elitist mentality of the MPP. Okay, Kwame, to keep the law decent as if it should be the exclusive preserve of a certain group of people and their children and their descendants.
Okay.
Kwame, we should open it up.
All right.
And that is what President Mama will do. So the thousands of our citizens who were, and Kwame, you remember, like the nurses who went to demonstrate about jobs and others, when they opened pepper spray and hot water on them, they opened hot water on the lawyers.
Yes.
And so those of them who have been pontificating democratic moral and associating with the MPP, on the day the hot water was sprayed on them, they knew the end of the limit of MPP as far as democratic dispensation is concerned. They saw it.
In conclusion.
And so in President Mama, you have a concrete assurance.
Okay.
That when, not if,
all right,
by the grace of Allah, he comes to assume the reins of government on January 7th,
all right,
2021. Kwame, he's going to answer the cry. Kwame, I'm sure you should give me the opportunity to come back because I've not finished. I just want to indicate that now that His Excellency President Mahama has espoused this, you know what has happened?
No.
We are now hearing that, the consultations on Okada is now far advanced. The first decision was a condemnation that the NDC, what the NDC is seeking to do is unrealistic, is unimplementable, and that it is immoral. That was their condemnation. The very day we pronounced that we were going to legalize Okada, now we are hearing that consultations are now taking place.
Even the salvage vehicles.
Okay, Kwame. So we are beginning to see.
There's a report that,
so you can see Ghanaians are now beginning to see the impact of President Mahama.
Yeah, even with the salvage.
So Kwame, I want to indicate that Okada and salvage car repairers, take note. If they are not interested in you, it's because of President Mahama. They are only doing this for electoral purposes.
After that, they will come back.
If we make a mistake and vote back MPP, they will go back to the status quo ante. They will reverse the scrapping of the salvage cars NDC promise. They will go back to the system where they brought it. After all, it was the MPP that brought the law to Parliament. We question them and they say they will not listen. Who are they sacking in the evening and greeting good night?
Thank you very much, Honorable Lebi Fuseni. Let's now, let me remind you again that the WhatsApp number is active, 0260846539, 0260846539. We're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television. Honorable has tried to address some of the issues that are in the People's Manifesto. Let's now listen to Sabo, if perhaps he's also going to be touching on a few things that are in their manifesto. Sabo, please.
Yes, Kwame, before I come to our manifesto, which I have clearly captured here, let me, first of all, let my brother understand that, what do you call it, that NDC, when Dr. Baumia said that the NDC stole our manifesto, and again said that the NDC manifesto is empty. And for that matter, he doesn't see the logic in this. Kwame, if I have 2 oranges, that's why I said that if he had put it in mathematical terms, he would have seen the logic in it. If I have 2 oranges and you have none, and you end up stealing my 2 oranges, and I discover it, what do you have? How many oranges do you have? Are you getting me? Yeah. I have 2 oranges. You have none. And you came and stole my 2 oranges. And I have discovered my oranges from you. How many oranges are left with you? So if Dr. Bame said they stole our manifesto, and for that matter, our manifesto is empty, it's not logic. This is a very simple this, and I don't know why you were struggling with it. You could not even see the logic in this. That's what Dr. Baumia meant. Kwame, I don't even know where to start.
Start somewhere.
You can see your
I'll see you written.
I'm telling you.
But at least start somewhere.
Let me start with the salvage car. That one is fresh on our viewers.
That's all right.
Kwame, with the salvage cars, let me expose the hypocrisy of the NDC. The NPP, we are saying that a car beyond 10 years, a car that 10 years and beyond will not be allowed into the country. I hope you are getting me.
Yeah.
So we are not saying that a car that is 1 year up to 9 years will not be allowed, which is also a salvage car. I hope you are getting me. Quite apart from that, Kwame, let's look at the economic benefits for both the citizenry and the nation at large. If a manufacturing company like the Volkswagen company decide to establish, like they've done in Ghana here, and employ Ghanaians and also pay tax to the state and sell the car at a cheaper rate than other countries because it is manufactured here.
Yeah, Ghana.
Yes, to Ghanaians. And also strengthen our local currency because people will come and buy the cars here in dollars. Is that not it?
Absolutely.
Exactly. And in other ways too, instead of our people who have actually taken dollars from this country to go and buy the cars outside, will now be using cedis to buy. So you can imagine the support is given to the city in this particular regards. Quite apart from that, look at the number of people who be employed in this because their electrical department, their body works department, engineer department, vulcanizing, all these things, people are going to be employed. Just suppose it with an importer of cars who might go outside and import about, let's say, 70 or 80 cars, just one person.
Yeah.
And then maybe when you come to his garage, he has employed about only 4 or 3 people to be selling their cars to the number of people who are employed in this particular area. Meanwhile, the importer of cars, we have not stopped the importer of cars from doing business. That instead, he should be bringing cars that are 9 years downwards old.
Not 10.
Not 10 and above, but 9 years downwards. I hope you are getting me. Quite apart from that, this same importer of car is also not stopped from bringing in spare parts for these new cars that we are going to be buying from these manufacturers. Because you agree with me that the European cars are standardized. So whether it is manufactured in Ghana here or in Europe, it's the same parts that it uses. I hope you are getting me. So that the picture should be painted very clearly. So this is my standpoint on this subject.
Subject matter. Okay.
Then let me come to education too.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Like Kwame, these people, common capitation, 4 cities 50 pesos, under them, they couldn't pay for 3 good years. Capitation grant, 4 cities 50 pesos. NDC couldn't pay for 3 good years. We have come. We have not just left it even the 4 cities 50 pesos, but we've taken it to 9 cities. 100%. Increase it 100%. And yet we've paid everything, including the arrears that they
At what point did you pay for that?
We've go and check.
Under Kufo? Or under...
No, under Kufo didn't leave any debt.
Okay.
I mean, President Nana Adonko Akufo-Addo inherited debts and the capitation. Big bro.
You allow him make his point, then yeah, I'm sure.
We did not only clear the debt that they could not even pay for just 4 cities 50 pesos, but we came to increase it 100% to 9 cities, and yet we paid. I was in classroom, my head teacher used to, in fact, even my head teacher, he was more, I think he was NDC sympathizer. But he was paying it from his pocket, waiting for a refund. What is not true? Teachers will be annoying with you. Head teachers will be annoying with you, Pa, if you say this. Because they are listening, they are watching us. No, only your serious callers will do that.
You want me to open the phone line?
Yes, Kwame, you ask teachers to call in. About head teachers and other capitalizing that they will swarm this station.
Please.
Huge arrears.
Where's someone expands?
Why is it that? Why is that? Anytime.
Sorry, I will interject again. Go ahead.
So, Kwame, that is the truth of the matter. No, does he agree with me that we have increased it to 9 cities?
You are not, I said I will interject. You are inviting me to speak.
Oh, so that is the point here. So that one, so I mean, I don't get it. Quite apart from that, Kwame, again, the NDC, the committee that they set up to draft their manifesto, I think they did a desktop something. They are saying that they went to the people, and if they had actually gone to the people, they will have realized that, in fact, most of the things that they have captured in their manifesto is already done by this government. About this, they want to come, will stop, abolish, will stop the double track and what. When you don't even know what has ever been put into that particular area. Even as we speak today, the schools and the double track, and almost about 62% are no more going to do double track.
They are doing double track.
I will not take you far. When you finish, take a car. In fact, you normally pass in front of Accra Guest. Stop by Accra Guest and enter.
You are still going home with that stop bus.
No. I say enter. I'm not going far. Just Accra here. Enter Accra Guest.
I say enter. I saw them going with their stop buses.
You see, you don't want the truth, so you will not follow. Just Accra Guest here, Kwame. We are done with them. And many schools in Accra here, they are not going to do double track again.
When? Hey.
Oh yes.
No, but this is a ridiculous.
Oh, I am telling you. Quite apart from that, Kwame, because there's no time, I could have opened my phone and give you a litany of schools that we have built their system for them. Oh, Kwame.
At least let's see a few of them. Yeah, I don't mind. I'll give you. What is your time? We need to make sure.
Thank you.
You put out the information. Otherwise,
don't worry.
Honorable bulldoze his way through.
I'm happy. Oh yes, I'm happy you giving me the opportunity to open. I'll open and show it to you.
Yeah, but let me remind viewers that the WhatsApp number is still active: 0260846539. And we're also streaming live on our Facebook platform, which is Pan African Television. Sabo, have you found it now?
Yes. You know, for that cancer, there's some pay here. When you're speaking the truth, you don't struggle.
Okay.
Kumasi Academy, 12-unit classroom block.
Kumaka.
Good.
So there's no double talk.
Oh! Let me finish. Ado, when I say SHS, 12-unit classroom block.
Okay.
Bankoman SHS, 12-unit classroom block. Adventist Adembra SHS, 12-unit classroom block. Naliergo SHS, 12-unit classroom block. Mpoho SHS.
I hope it's not reading from the tracker. The
distributed
tracker that they had where people went and the projects are not there.
That's what people are saying. You say so many things that they are. In fact, people came on social media to tell you that they are there. They are standing there and they snap them and they read live. But you went around saying that you are not there. Go ahead. Takrade SHS, my second hometown. That's where I was born. Tadisco, dormitory block. That dormitory block that they are building there. And then we've come to
built or they are now building
dormitory block.
Built.
Yes.
Or building.
Built. Or say Educhum SHS, 18-unit classroom block. Atefua SHS. In fact, Kwame,
there are many.
Look. I cannot mention all because it will take the whole of my time. There are many. So,
yes, if you know any head teacher or something, please ask them to be on standby because we open the phone lines for just head teachers to call in and confirm or deny whether capitation grants is in arrears. So I think we need to clarify that. Yes.
Kwame.
Yeah.
But I also would have been very grateful.
Okay. If
many of the things that he said,
if
you should have also put them there.
They should call. So we'll just open the phone line.
No, it's okay.
Just 5 minutes.
Now, and again.
Yes, sir, my boss.
Under education, I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And psychologists will tell you that learning with an empty stomach. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And it is this government, or it is the MPP who has the history of trying to get the situation resolved among students. If you remember the school feeding program, because I believe when we talk of the FQ program that we implemented, the free edition, you were saying that it was captured. You were saying that it's captured in the Constitution.
Yeah.
What about the school feeding? Was it also captured in the school in the Constitution? That one, you normally don't talk about it. So it takes a selfless and a wise government to actually come out with this particular decision. And I believe Nana Adedonko Akufo-Addo has extended this gesture to SHS2. Is that correct? Including both day and then boarding students. Also, under this government, all these things, they could not do it. Then, of course, when we come to the teacher trainee, this and that they were saying, Kwame, the NDC has repeatedly said this thing, and I'm not surprised because the man Muhammad said that we have short memory. So he believes in those things and he keeps on doing things thinking that we cannot remember. Kwame, I am a product of a teacher training college. And of course, the year I completed my teacher training school, John Dramani Mahama was nowhere near even a vice president. So definitely he was nowhere closer to a presidency. And when I completed my teacher training college, was on campus, even having finished writing my papers, I knew where I was posted to. My posting had already come. As a full-fledged, of course, when you go, you teach for 1 year before you are confirmed. We have what we call confirmation distance. That your CS will come and then assess you and confirm you.
Okay.
Very good. So, if you are not telling me that you are going to abolish national service and the teacher trainee, and then make sure that now when teacher trainees complete school, they will be appointed direct to teacher trainee. In the first place, who truncated that process? Was it not in existence? Who truncated it? Were you not the people who upgraded it to diploma and said that now they are also tertiary institution? So they'll be treated as such. They'll also be doing national service and what have you. And when they complete, they will look for their jobs and other things. And even also truncated the teacher training allowance. So like he's been saying, who are they sacking in the morning and is greeting good evening? you see, these are some of the things. So I find it difficult. And it's like, they've been allowed on certain platforms to say this in freely and go. You are the same person who created the whole. It's just like you beating your own drum and dancing, and you end up praising yourself again. Who's drum beat? So Kwame, that's another hypocrisy of the NDC.
All right.
Then let me come to what they call it, the bond issue that he brought. That I thought this thing, if I were in NDC, I wouldn't want to sit anywhere and this thing will be mentioned. What effort did NDC put in resolving the issue in the bond? What at all did they do? What role did they play? In fact, they should stop hating. They stop. What do you call it? Putting sticks in our wounds.
Was he listening when I was talking?
They should stop putting sticks in our wounds.
In whose wounds? Who inflicted?
Let me. In fact, you are a son of Tegbon. You should be the least person to even be politics.
You don't even have the morals.
No.
Who brought the problem?
Oh, when you say now, in fact, you were hurting me, Papa. I was quiet.
You were hurt. What happened to you? Who brought the problem?
Oh no.
When the problem came,
let me come.
Don't go there.
You see the hypocrisy of the NDC. I think it is high time we put this to a stop. When Yana and then Yaku and then when he was murdered
by who? Under whose watch?
Please. This is me. When it comes to this particular issue, I'm very emotional about it. I didn't expect
I think you shouldn't have gone there.
I didn't even expect you to bring it up.
You shouldn't have gone there.
I think you see. I think
no. Let's
but where you're going, that's not where the argument.
But when you were saying it,
that's why you don't make the argument.
Oh no,
he's going somewhere because you don't make the argument.
No. I'm being fair. He said that the president should not.
You give credit for those who got the peace.
That is what I'm trying to. I want you to know.
Look at where you are going.
And I want you to know why the president should be given the credit.
No, he said that some buildings.
He said that the president should be given.
Some palaces were built by the previous administration to ensure
the performance of the federal
absolutely. That's all. We didn't go back
to any palace and hand it over to the bank.
We didn't go
build any palace and hand it over to the bank.
Let me say for the record, I as a deputy minister, I went to Yendi to facilitate the handing over of the
so Sabo, you understand why I'm saying that? We shouldn't go.
You shouldn't have gone to where you are going.
We shouldn't go.
Yeah, that's where you were going. And every people there, you work
listen to this.
Because you created that problem.
Because
don't go there.
Has fed into the
don't go into it.
And now dipping our wounds, and now that we have resolved the issue, they are trying to handle the whole thing again.
You resolve the issue.
They are trying to handle the whole thing again.
Let me tell you this. Hold on.
You resolve the issue.
Hold on.
No, please. Hold on. Let me.
I don't want to inflame passions.
No, I just want passions. But of course, listen, it hurts me so much.
No, it doesn't hurt you.
I even talking about
pretending.
I feel somehow.
Because if it hurts you, the people who originated the problem, you know them.
Speaking.
Yeah.
Because when we come to the issue, we should put NDC and PP aside and resolve our issues.
But the president
should have criticizing the issue.
But the president also taking credit. In fact, I've seen billboards. I've seen billboards of the president saying that he brought
the one who brought peace to the box.
Now, when you do that, there are two arguments. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was during President Kufuor's regime that this unfortunate incident happened.
Absolutely.
If my memory will serve me right, I think it was somewhere 2002. I'm getting emotional on this issue. May his soul rest in peace. That this harmless, very friendly, Ken.
Describing him in all this time when your criminals went to commit.
You seen the word you are now, which means even I was part of those who did that.
No. He's not saying that.
No. That's the English. No. You are now. So before now, what have I been? No, Kwame. We are all students of English. We are all students of English.
But you know, Honorable will never describe you that.
No. But when he said you are now, no, tell me.
No, but Honorable,
what was my earlier position before now? What was my earlier position before now?
So on my show, you are now saying it.
Yes. No. So why did I say it different? So on your show, I said. So why did I say it differently?
I don't know that question.
No. Call a spade a spade.
And not a digging tool.
How do I get me? when this thing happened, a commission was set up, Wako Commission was set up. Because there were rumors that people even saw people holding his hand with his wristwatch that was recognized as his wristwatch. People even saw people holding his head in town and other things. Wako Commission was established. I'm coming. Wako Commission was established.
But this is Sabo.
No. You see, he said this. I want you to know what the commission giving to somebody who says it's.
We can go back.
The same people who were lying when the commission was set up, did they go? Did they appear?
You see where it's going. Go back.
Did they go there?
No, so on. You see, because the point is that we're talking about the fact that the president has taken single credit or singular credit
that is
for the process.
Exactly.
Kwame, it doesn't matter what the person in the past. Look at where it's going. It's about the cumulative effort.
In the first place.
Yes, sir.
Don't even blame me on this issue at all.
No, I'm not.
You asked him to talk about their manifesto. Where in their manifesto is Yana issue is there?
Oh, Kwame, look what you say. We are saying not giving recognition to President Mama for things that he's done. He's here. It's one of the issues that they were discussing.
Oh, let me come. Let
you didn't know that.
Let me come.
And I was talking on the fact that they won't give credit, and including even the Dabon issue. You have to give credit. That's what I said.
So not giving recognition to things that President Mahama has done.
Yes.
Are there not so many other things?
I have said them, including that one.
That is of nationalistic.
What is nationalistic? It's the aggregate of things that become nationalistic. Who said that one is not nationalistic?
Let me come.
Who says that is not a national issue?
When we talk of the Gbon issue,
who says it's not a national issue?
I'm so passionate about here. One part of the Gbon issue.
It's not a national issue.
No,
Honorable, respectfully.
A segment of our society which form the whole nation. I hope you're getting me. So when we can, just like a forest, you see the whole thing to be one. But okay, there are different species of plants that have made up the forest.
Absolutely.
So is a nation. I hope you're getting me. So there are certain things, when we are talking of general things, we don't actually put those things there. But when we come to the specifics, then we mention those things.
All right.
So the issue of the Gbon has to deal with the specifics. Maybe if we were to be talking about chieftaincy issues and other, when it was established for almost 2 years or how many, nothing, they could not come up with any fact. And you said that you were having the things on tape. You know everything. You came for 8 good years. You could not bring us the peace. And then I came within 2 years, space of 2 years. He was able to resolve this issue, and I said the credit should not be given to him. So that is just it.
I just wanted to make a point on this, a correction, because it's a palpable falsehood.
That
Kwame, restoring peace is a process. Okay? Is it an effect? To restore peace.
So what did you do?
Those who are
specifically, what did you do?
To those who went and
what did you
messed up the peace period.
I don't know what
the Gbon first and foremost was already at peace. How come we lost the peace? So when the peace is lost, it takes a process to restore it.
Oh no, big bro, this
okay?
one there.
You know? So Kwame, if it takes a process, all along contributors have made, and I alluded to His Eminence Otufo and his eminent committee elders. Kwame, I alluded to what President Kufuor did. Contributions President Kufuor made.
I think contribution to my.
So it was it just happened that Nana Akufo-Addo was lucky. He came at the tail end of the process.
All right, thank you.
That is all.
That's the point to what you're saying.
What in practical terms did he do more than any of the other people?
Yeah, please proceed.
Kwame.
So he cannot take that credit.
Another stolen this thing was a NAPCO program. These people, they are very good at U10. After that, I should clap for them. Very good at U10. Look. They were the very people, when they bought this Okada thing, they just opposed Okada to even NAPCO and said Okada is more sustainable than NAPCO. And for that matter, Okada is far better than NAPCO. And maybe somebody stepped on their toes among themselves. That, don't forget, we are talking about graduates. And if these people should come after us, it will be serious. Then they made a quick U-turn. Said that when they come, they are going to make NAPCO more sustainable. They are going to make, but who told you NAPCO is falling as we speak? Who told that NAPCO is not sustainable as we speak? Kwame, the first batch of NAPCO, have they exited? No, say it's a 3-year. First batch of NAPCO, have they exited?
Yes.
No.
Oh, 3, no, so
they are still there.
You are the NAPCO boss, so you need to tell me.
No, but this is my area too. So that is why
so
I'm
you need
saying,
to tell us.
Yes. So Kwame, as we speak, if you are going to put everything together, because right now, the confirmed cases that we have right now, it's almost about 22,000 that have permanent jobs.
Okay.
But unconfirmed cases that we have is about 36,000 who have now gotten permanent jobs. I hope you understand my like those who have officially written to us that they have now found permanent jobs. But those who have actually exited the system because they find jobs but have not officially written to us. I don't know where you are getting yes. So, quite apart from that, the concept of NAPCO was not actually just to provide. In fact, NAPCO is not actually laying emphasis on the job, the beneficiary getting job doing. But however, there are some core values that NAPCO is trying to imbibe into the young fresh graduates in this country.
The apprenticeship spirit?
Excellent. Yeah. Because even today, I believe today, Kwame, if you are leaving this desk and you want somebody to come and replace you, you want somebody with experience.
Of course.
Somebody who will not come and then be experimenting.
Might show up.
Exactly. So because of that, NAPCO decided to give them that particular window, so that when they come from the university, they will have that first-hand experience. And then the core values too, because somebody, excuse me, from university doesn't know that the corporate world is different from school, the way things are done. Even your appearance, your approach to people, how things should be done. Exactly. These are the things that NAPCO is even laying emphasis on, so that to make the Ghanaian graduate more productive by the time you get job.
Experience.
Corporate experience, excellent. In fact, you just sum it up for me. How do I get him? So these are the things. And these people do not even take their time to go around NAPCO to see what actually is made up of NAPCO. So for them, NAPCO is about jobs. Just to get the guys jobs to be doing. That's all. NAPCO. That is not it. So that one too, they've gotten it wrong. And that is why Dr. Bamia said that their addition is empty. Because they have put it there and it cannot wash. So it is empty. We have also promised that we are going to build 16 secondary schools in designated zongos across the 16 regions.
Okay.
Is that not it? Kwame, I have always mentioned this severally. And they have always tried to come and then challenge, but when they can, they feel. In Accra here, we have a lot of zongos in Accra, but not even a single zongo has a secondary school. Not even one. The last time somebody attempted to tell me that there's a secondary school in Zongo, the person mentioned Medina and then Mamobi. you see the way you are laughing.
It's interesting.
So I told you that I'll forgive him because he's not a Zongo boy. So you have to understand. Like the Dogombe said, that somebody's soil is only reddish. By that, it's not painful. So if this thing should, and of course, I'm going to work hard to make sure that Nima gets this secondary school in Greater Accra. And so you can imagine the kind of knowledge. And you also agree with me, Kwame, that even up to date, and that one, my brother cannot depart from that. At the early days, our forefathers were of the view that the secular education is of Christian values. Because it is the missionaries who brought education to this thing.
Yeah.
And they were bringing it, they were also teaching us those things so that we can understand and then read the Bible and other things and also have education. So from the word go, our parents were not interested in sending us to the, what do you call it, the secular this thing. I hope you are getting it. So because of that, there was a gap between us and you, those from the south, and with regards to education. Although we had Arabic education, all right, but we were not doing this thing. So now that, so as we speak, the gap is still there. And it is free education that has even come to bridge the gap a bit. Because the same way, you agree with me, when it comes to economic activities too, we are not doing well because we do not get, what do you call it, well-paid jobs to do and other things. In fact, until I think just early 90s going, that our fathers even started facing out from this kind of security job, watchman. Those days in Ghana, wherever you go, whether it is house or a company, it is either Mahamadou or Alassane or Yakubu who is the security man there. But now that they turned into uniform and also started saying that now you should have at least SS certificate before the rest. That one too, we have lost that one too. So this is the only opportunity that will also be given for us to also be brought onto this thing. Kwame, you will not disagree with me that both on MPP and NDC side, the few Zongo people who have had the opportunity to serve government has actually proved a point that indeed There's a lot of talent in the Zongo communities that when investment is done there, this country is going to actually benefit from them a lot. So that one too, it is something that I believe the NDC should even join hands with us to implement these policies in the Zongo communities, to bring the lot of our people in the Zongo communities. Kwame, I can see that they are waving at you that time. I know I'm your friend. I wouldn't want you to be in trouble, so I wouldn't actually drag. The last but not the Okada thing. Kwame, the Okada issue that they brought. I have never, of course, I've had my problem, personally, I've had problem with Okada. I think I've told me, I don't even like sitting on Okada in Accra here. But in Tamale, when I go, Okada is the only thing that I sit on. Thank you. Tamale, I enjoy Okada a lot. Tamale, there is very safe. But here, I don't sit on Okada. One, Kwame, if you, NDC, he was saying that this thing was there somewhere 70-something, and they only implemented it. But when it comes to aliens compliance order, when we also tried to let them understand it was Kwame Nkrumah's time that it was passed, the bill was passed, but it was only during Busia's time that it was implemented. That one, it was MPP.
Which Kwame Nkrumah time did they pass?
Aliens compliance order.
When
go and check.
When was it passed?
Go and check.
No, tell me.
You are a member of parliament. You are a member of parliament.
No, you are saying it. I'm not saying it. For you to say it, you must tell us when. When under the Kwame Nkrumah's regime was it passed?
First Republic.
When?
Parliament.
When? Which year?
Listen. I wouldn't be able
so
to
don't say it because I don't know it.
No. And I'm saying that go and check. If I'm lying, go and check. You are a member of parliament. You have the records.
Right. Is it my duty to look for things?
Because you are disputing it. So go and check.
You are not giving me any date for me to dispute. I'm saying that when was it passed?
When you were saying things that I disagreed, I was checking.
When was it?
I was checking.
But when was it passed? I just want you to tell me when it was passed.
So check. You check.
If I'm not able to tell us,
you check and they expose me here.
But this was. But Wikipedia is saying something else. Says where is it?
Aliens compliance order under Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah,
yes,
hold on.
under Kwame Nkrumah. It was passed. But how come the Muslim community
in 1969
voted for UP?
In 1969, under the Ghana Aliens Compliance Order, enacted by Ghanaian Prime Minister Kofi Abrefa Busia, Nigerians and other African
it has nothing to do with
non-African immigrants.
Osajibu was a progressive leader.
Please.
Those policies name.
He's reading it here. Let me tell you. Let me come. Unfortunately for me, I was lucky that they took me to school. And me, I know what we are reading. Enacted. Is that not it?
Yeah, but what is enactment? Enactment means passed.
Yes, passed. No, I like it. I like the way you even qualify it for me again. That's why I was coming. Oh, I'm coming.
Yes,
I'm coming.
So what was the law?
I'm coming.
Kwame Nkrumah.
No. Let me come. Is that not it? That enacted under what?
Busia.
Oh.
Busia. Because if you say there's even a publication on it. Somebody has written from the University of Cape Town.
No.
This study situates the November 18th, 1969 Aliens Compliance Order in a historical perspective and with the employment of the internal-external approach examines the context in which the expulsion order was enforced. Relying on both primary and secondary sources, the study reveals that various factors combined to make Ghana one of the preferred migrant destinations in West Africa, especially from the beginning.
He's reading something.
Especially from the beginning of the 19th century to the 1960s. In the face of the growing immigrant population, the colonial, Nkrumah and NLC administrations all introduced immigration measures to control the influx of immigrants into Ghana. However, the colonial government and Nkrumah administration did not strictly enforce those regulations. The NLC attempted to remedy the situation but could not achieve much. When the Busia government was inaugurated, it immediately issued the expulsion order, which caused the deportation of many immigrants in a manner never attempted before. So, yeah, what you are saying could be true.
No, yes, exactly.
It was
exactly.
There, but it was not enforced.
Quite apart from that, if you listen to the English,
could be true.
That it immediately issued the isn't it? The expulsion order. It made a definite article. It meant that the expulsion order was there.
Where was it?
But when they
I want you to show me the enactment and which
issued it. You see, no, it's okay. You see,
what was the enactment?
I am glad.
Okay, but this is not actually incidental.
Yes.
It's just tangential.
So that is it. So on that one. So what I'm trying to say is that you people pass the law. It wasn't MPP time that Okada was banned. Okada has been moving around even during Kufuor's time and the rest. But it was NDC time that this bill was passed. How do you get me? So if you have made your own U-turn, again, like I said, you are expert in U-turn, to come and tell us that you want to bring Okada back and you start pointing at us, at people who do not like Okada and the rest. Kwame, let me tell you, I will not say because of vote or something. Me, where I don't like Okada, Kwame, you agree with me? When you go to police and then Ghana Health, when there are accidents,
broken limbs and ties.
Yes, and even the accidents, they top. Do get me right? And unfortunately for me, and even him, majority of these people are people of northern background, our own brothers. How they are getting me? I am saying that the business that is done here, like in Accra here, when you go to the Obosuokan, people buy spare parts. And then immediately, the Okada people are able to take the spare parts to that one. I think that's a very good business. That's a very nice place that they've established themselves. Okay. But carrying human lives in Accra, in fact, and there are some parts of Ghana, the rural areas, if we should ban Okada, the economy will slow down. Frankly speaking, they are contributing a lot when it comes to rural areas. I think that one, we can nicely, in a way, package it. Okay. So that maybe busy cities like Accra or Kumasi, that one, we can minimize their movement. But we can let them intensify their movement in the rural areas where there are no vehicles to transport. So first, transportation. Okay, movement.
Thank you. Solid presentation.
2 minutes. I just, 2 minutes. I just indicated to you, for instance, that President Mahama was bestowed the Zomalhuna in recognition of his contribution to peace in Gabon.
Yes.
And the chiefs, Abudu chiefs, they said both Abudus and Danis in 2015, not even 2016, danced the Damba at the Jowa Palace. It was led by the Bamvumlana, Yeb Bavumlana, the Kere Bavla, he's still alive. And the delegation included Yeb Nantona, the late, may Allah be merciful with his soul. Susona, Myangbanglana, and the Bumbaga chief. They all from the Abuja attended, and it was a fantastic ceremony of unity of the Gombet. Beautiful ceremony.
But that I can give you instances where the late
this is the contribution to peace.
Even his brother himself have met severally.
Look at the mess. How do you take a 9 billion problem? All that the banks needed was 9 billion to solve the problem of the financial crisis. Then people used more than 22 billion to solve that problem, and deliberately targeted some banks out of existence and created needless loss of jobs. President Mama, President Mama has indicated that all those whose monies were locked up in the banks, in the first year of the NDC, all their monies will be paid. Okay? Kwame, we have also indicated we shall retrieve all seized and stolen excavators. The excavators which under Nana Akufo-Addo grew wings and flew away. We shall retrieve all of them and give it to their owners, as well as the concessions they have illegally seized from people, and give it to some of their party chairmen, general secretaries, and others. They are mining. They are doing galamsey.
Thank you very much, Honorable.
And we are saying that we were talking about the Zongos. The only Zongo that has improved under MPP is Nana Akufo-Addo's house and the surrounding area where he injected. Yes, go and see what has happened. The frontage officer where those people were earning small to chop, they evicted all of them and cleared the way. That's the Zongo improvement they are talking about. I am saying that is the improvement in the Zongo. What has happened? Go to the Zongo, don't you pass through Dima. What have you seen? I am just indicating to you, we have indicated that we are bringing what we call a Soyaya fund. Soyaya.
It's not Soyaya.
And I'm telling you that thing we are bringing. It's going to be interest-free loans. For the first time, you will go and take loan and you not pay interest.
They don't know what they are saying.
In the Islamic dispensation, Islam doesn't encourage usury. That's why we call usury. So Islam, when you put something in terms of money to somebody and add interest, is forbidden in Islam.
That's Jara.
I can't call it Jara per se, but there's no interest.
Right.
You deal with
the principal.
Only the principal. But Kwame, is it not interesting that corruption and Nana Akufo-Addo? Look at go and read their manifesto and see what is corruption. Lip service.
Thank you.
Because President Akufo-Addo himself has been reduced to a chief corruption clearing agent.
Thank you very much.
Because he said he was going to fight corruption with Anas principle. With Anas principle. Anas principle. Anas going to give him tips from Kwesinya Techi's one to Charles Bisu, receiving fat envelopes. He has thrown it away.
Thank you very much. Well, I couldn't open the
Who
phone
can fight
lines.
corruption better?
I couldn't open the
President
phone
Mama
lines
has done
because
it.
you would agree
And the
with
record
me
is there.
that we have exceeded our time, far exceeded our time. But thank you very much, Honorable Ibufuseni. Thank you very much, Sabu Adams, for your time this morning. My name is Kwame Owusu Danso. So tomorrow, Alaji comes your way with Senna, my brother Senna Nombo, here on Pan African Television. I'll see you guys on Monday. Do have a very wonderful weekend. Salute.